What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this video we're going to be working on part 2 of the trunk shaving. So I have my panel bonded pieces that are totally dried. It's been a few days since I painted them, and you can see right here that this one's fully dry, and the piece behind, everything here has been rust converted. So it's all this, it looks like black primer. I haven't ever used this type of rust converter before, but it just sort of looks like flat black primer, so I don't know, hopefully it works, but I'm sure it will. So back here you can see the piece that I panel bonded in, and that's all hit with that rust converter. So definitely would still want to hit the back of this with primer, because I don't think the rust converter is a top coat, even though it does sort of seem like paint. I'm going to go ahead and probably scuff this before I prime everything, and yeah, I got to work on mainly the front and also the 2 holes that I filled in the trunk, which I'll show you guys over here. So you can see this section right here where the trunk is right here is nice and dry. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this off, and then I can sand it. I'll probably take the spoiler off first so I don't nick it up while I'm doing any of this work. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the body work with the trunk on the car, and then once I get this all straight, then maybe I'll pull the trunk to sand, or sand it and then pull the trunk to do the priming. But either way, I want to pull the trunk off to prime it, because I want to do the inside as well. Just a quick dust coat, just because I want to make sure that you know, we have good adhesion with our new paint. I don't want to paint over the old paint too much. I want to paint over primer as much as I can. So I've been at this for maybe an hour or 2, and I got, I first went with some Bondo glass because it was sort of a deeper hole right here, and then once I got that layer filled in and sanded, I went with a lightweight filler, and this is really smooth. Definitely cannot tell that there was ever a hole there. It looks really good and flat, feels good, so I think we're all set there. There were a couple of areas here that had some rust in that corner mainly, so I put a little bit of the rust reformer on, and right here as well. And so I'm letting this dry right here before I prime this section. But in the back, I'm going to start taking the trunk apart, because I would like to take the trunk off. So I'm going to pull this lock cylinder, and I want to make sure that the trunk mechanism still works with this lock cylinder off, because I never did check that. So hopefully it does, or else we're going to have to figure something out. I'm hoping. But yeah, so I'm going to pull that off and pull off the latch assembly. And yeah, a lot of this is going to require alignment. Like when I go to put this back on, you want to put it in the right spot. So there might be some trial and error there, because it's tough when you paint stuff to get it aligned properly. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I just want to pull everything off. I'm going to try to undo all the wiring so that the wiring is out before I do it. Take all the rubber stuff off, all the lights. It'll be easier to disassemble it on the car, and yeah, then we'll see if we can get this trunk off. Alright guys, so this was all pretty much super easy. Just 3 10s in the bottom here for this thing, and once I took that off, it allowed me access to the rod that runs through to this cylinder over here. And I don't think we're going to have any issues because there's a cable that comes from the front and there's a separate rod that goes from this. So with this disconnected, I don't think we should have any problems. It should still work just fine. If anything, it looked like the cable needed some adjusting. But yeah, so taking the harness out was super easy. It was just a bunch of plastic clips that look like this. So you just squeeze them, push them through. And once I undid all those, you just fish it through this hole right here, and they all come right out. So feeding it through is definitely going to be a different story, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But they did come out really easily. So I think what I'm going to do now is just pull these lights out, and then everything else I'll just leave on, and I'll get this thing taken off, throw it on some sawhorses, and get to work getting this thing all stripped down and then start scuffing it. Alright guys, I am calling it quits for tonight. It's like 9:15. I'm pretty much done. Pretty well cooked. It's been hot out today and I'm beat. But yeah, so we got the filler on. I found some more dings, of course. I always do. And we got those holes filled in pretty good back here. It's pretty well smoothed out. Everything's sanded with 80, so I just got to go through this filler here. This one might need a little bit more. It's a little bit deeper because I pounded some high spots down, made some dents. Now we got to fill them. But overall, coming out pretty good. I'm liking the way that it's looking. The whole backside is scuffed. I just got to scuff this area down here, and then I'll be able to hit everything with primer, including the backside, which is also scuffed. This guy right here, feeling really smooth, like I said before. So everything's just about ready for primer. We're really close. Just got to work out these couple of dents and then go over this whole outside with 180, and then everything should be ready for primer. So should get to that within the next couple of days, and then hopefully be getting this all back together. And we'll get to see what the back looks like, all shaved and all one color. So I'm pretty stoked. Can't wait. I'm going to pick back up on this, and I'll probably keep priming and everything in the same video, so you guys will see this all happen at the same time. Alright guys, so it is a couple days later, and I am ready to prime. I got everything as scuffed as it can be. There's still a few shiny spots on the back of this trunk, which I'll show you, but I just can't sand this anymore. It's just the back of the trunk, It's like all these little areas right here still have a little gloss. But I'm hoping the primer just covers it. I'm really not looking for anything crazy in here. I just want to slap primer on it, slap paint on it, have it look halfway decent and match the car and not be green. As long as it's not green, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with half-assing the inside of the trunk. Nobody's going to ever be in here. So, fine with me, but I do want it to not be green. So, just going to slap some primer on the back here, a nice thin coat, and then I'll flip it over to the other side. Same thing here. I scuffed this rust converter down just a little bit of a scuff, and I'm going to hit this with primer really quick, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side with a nice thick coat to give us something to block through, and we can do all of our body work there. And I did a little bit of body work on the top of the trunk, even though it's probably going to be covered by the spoiler anyway, and it was a waste of time. Still did it just to make sure it was straight, because we did have a dent in there, but is what it is. So that's ready to go as well. So it's all just making sure that I'm ready here, finishing touches on everything. Got to sand my edges and stuff like that still. But yeah, then I'm going to mix up some paint and start shooting. Alright guys, so I got the paint on these parts and it came out awesome. Like, I think this time I finally got the whole primer spraying thing down. I've been really trying to work on perfecting it, but this time it laid down really nice, really flat. Honestly, minimal dust in it, you know, even though I had the garage doors open. So, did really well. Everything looks super straight and flat. I'm really pumped. This piece looks really good too. This was actually the side with the hole in it right here, but you can't tell at all. There's no way you'd ever know that there was the keyhole in it right here. So it came out really nice. I'm excited, ready to throw this back on the car. Probably won't get to it tonight, but maybe tomorrow or something like that. I can throw this back on the car, get everything all set back up. So pretty pumped. Yeah, one step at a time, guys. A little bit here and there, one part at a time, piece by piece. We will get this thing done, I swear. Eventually it will get done. But yeah, thanks for sticking it out with me, guys, and you know, watching these videos where I'm just painting stuff. But we'll get it assembled, but I do want to get out a couple more videos for you guys, so I think I'll wrap this up here. Got one other one coming pretty soon on the Hummer. I got to do the brake lines on that still. They haven't come in yet, but that'll be coming up. But thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I had to fire the camera back up to show you guys. I got this thing partially assembled here. Nothing's fully bolted, but it's just resting there. I'm pretty stoked with how this looks. Like, that looks really awesome, so I'll leave you guys with that.